For what it's worth, those suits were really restrictive.
I want to get one though.
Right? That was you, Joey. There was three of them.
Yeah, that was three of us walking up, Joey. Come on,
I was on the left. Keith was in the middle. Clearly, that was us. Fallout suit. Damn, that's a dark opening.
Right? I love it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Drunk with Facts. Man, it's gonna be a fun show tonight.
Oh yeah. He signed right on. That's funny.
What's up, everybody?
Howdy.
Should be a good show tonight. Should be fun.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about how to survive a nuclear attack.
Okay.
Thank you, Andrea. Feeling good.
Be over here.
Yeah. Don't be there.
Don't be in the other place.
All right, quick shout out to our sponsor, Project Y.
Because we like you.
Because we care.
What I said, like you. You don't care.
ProjectYNow.com. Do Project Y 20 for 20% off their products, which we do have in studio now, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And go check out their podcast, the Y Cast.
Yeah, baby.
Full good information for all you men out there that are
not feeling good. Or just want to feel better.
That's true. Good point. I like that. And don't forget to check out our production page, rcjproduction.com, for all your production needs, your audio, video, editing, soon equipment rental, and podcast production. We got all kinds of shit happening. So go check it out at rcjproduction.com. And for a limited time, if you're local to the Arizona market, if you have a small business, please send me some information on your business at info@rcjproduction.com, and I will create a free 30-second commercial for you guys. We love to support local businesses, so that's our way of giving back to the community. Plus, it helps us kind of launch our business.
And I dance.
And you dance.
So there we go.
That works good. So
you dance? Is that what you say?
Yeah.
I dance. I'm pretty.
So, Joey, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you have total control over your system tonight, so that should be interesting.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Right?
That's fucking awesome. I'm so jealous. So jealous. That's badass. Anyway.
So I didn't get a chance to tell you that Rode finally wrote me back and essentially said there's nothing they can do for me. So
thanks for buying our product. How about we get another one?
They did. They offered me 30% off a new unit.
Hell, that's better than Home Depot.
Yeah, it's not bad. So
that's not too bad. That's really actually pretty good. That covers taxes and a little discount.
Well, what's funny is, so I joined a Facebook group. It was a Roadcaster Facebook group.
Oh, really?
Right. So I was just throwing it out there to the group, what the issues I was having. Right. And everybody, was spitting off the obvious stuff to check, firmware updates and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They even said use a different. One guy said he had the same issue, and it turned out his power supply went bad. So what I did, Joey, is I took your power supply into mine.
It's ruined now.
It made no difference at all. So
at least you were able to rule it out.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Did I just have a stroke, or did you put an effect on your voice?
No, it was just the way he rolled his R, I think, for ruled.
Did I roll my R?
You did something, yeah.
Whatever you did, I made my brain skip a beat.
We need that instant playback. so I wrote to them. I said, look, I tried everything and nothing worked. And then I told the group, the Facebook group, I said, Rode really hasn't been very responsive because they weren't. I emailed them and 4 days go by. I didn't hear anything from anybody. So I said, they're not really responsive. Well, wouldn't you know it? Somebody from Rode jumps on the Facebook chat.
They talking shit.
It says, no, they apologized to me and they said somebody would be reaching out to you tomorrow.
Nice.
And they did.
Very cool.
So kind of cool. So I give them
power
props.
of the internet.
Yes.
Talk some shit and people. It's not.
Well, I'll give them props on their customer service. I mean,
yeah.
that's, they stand by their product. So I like it.
Well, except they don't, but they do.
They do. I mean, look, it's for what I bought it. I bought it in 2019. So it's definitely out of warranty by now.
Oh yeah.
And as anything electronic, they come out with new models. So the older models are end of life and they're not supported anymore.
You know what you should do?
What?
You should get a new one. That's what you should do, buddy.
I just want the voices that Joey's got. That's
I do
cool.
too.
Pretty freaking cool. So
We'll play with them. Wait.
See,
Try that again. Is that the weird voice?
something like that.
That sounded. You just went blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
That's fucking
I'm getting tongue-tied. Sorry. I thought I'll play with some of the voices later.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Jack's like, I'm not ready for this.
I'm serious. Is he saying words? It's only words.
It's English, I promise.
Let's jump back into it. Boom.
There we go.
Shakalaka.
So Lindsay is out of town this week, and she'll be out of town, God, probably for the next show too. I don't know. So we'll see. I know.
She's traveling.
So yeah, so we're talking about, can you survive a nuclear attack? And this was brought on kind of, I texted you about it, almost a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, with everything going on, in the political environment right now and everything going on with Iran, I think it's a good topic to talk about, right? I mean,
I think so. I think it's well, it's one of those things that like we don't like to consider the possibility, but I mean there is always a very real possibility. I mean, so far we as I understand it, we've eliminated Iran's ability to develop a nuclear weapon, so to speak, but they still have a lot of money. And I don't know if anybody remembers this or not, but Russia or USSR sort of dissolved with a lot of nuclear weapons in their possession. And it's not beyond the scope of possibility. I think there was a movie or two that covered it. True Lies comes to mind, where people who are not necessarily the best to have them don't necessarily develop them. They just purchase them.
Right.
So it's not impossible to think that just because we developed or got rid of their development program doesn't mean they couldn't get their hands on nuclear weapons. And it's, the whole Death to America thing kind of lends you to believe that they might have some interest in doing something like that.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, when you think of normalcy, right? You think, well, nobody'd be stupid enough to set one of those things off, because then once one goes off, everybody's going to be setting them off at that point.
Right. And
then it's total annihilation, right? But to your point, these people don't care. Now you're in a mindset where you don't care if you die, you don't care if the people around you die. That's just the culture, right?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if your culture, whatever it is, belief system, ideology brings you to
What's happening to my picture? Oh, there it goes.
If your mindset or culture, whatever, lends you to believe that there is not only nothing wrong with that, but it almost takes you to the next level of glory or honor.
Right.
When you think it's honorable to take the world out in, the name of whatever it is that you're into, what's to stop you?
And that's the scary part.
That's the part that freaks me out. That's the part where it's like, well, now, how do you combat that? Do you just kill them first? Because survival would say that you have to act first. But then again, doesn't that make you the bad guy? And I don't know, because I don't think the core beliefs of anybody that I know is to annihilate other people.
Right.
But the core beliefs of some people on this planet, that is the case. So how in the hell do you combat that? And that's something I've always struggled with all that stuff. Is it's like, I don't know what you're supposed to do, because it kind of makes me the bad guy if I kill you. But if your whole goal in life is to kill me, doesn't it make sense that you have to be offensive to defend? Audience, what do you think?
Well, and that's why I tend to agree with what Trump did, right? Yeah. I mean, we didn't kill anybody, but we took out their ability to manufacture nukes, like you said. They can purchase them, but
I don't have any problem with the move he made. I don't know that there's what else are you supposed to do? I mean, I love everybody the soundbite, his whole clip with the two of them not knowing what they're doing.
What the fuck they're doing?
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's one of the best ones ever. And it's very poignant and true, because it's like, what are they doing?
What do you think, Joey? What's your opinion on what Trump did?
No, I agree with what he did. I mean, I was scared about it, because there's always that uncertainty of what the other side's going to do, especially, who we're dealing with.
Right.
Because of that mentality of, they don't care if they die taking us out. So,
Yeah.
Well, and I think that fear is a real possibility, right? I mean, we watched over the Biden regime that how many people we let into the country, how many sleeper cells do we have in the country, which we've already been proven by the FBI, the CIA. We already know they're here. So, I think that's a legitimate fear that stuff's going to start sparking up in our country. Do I think it's going to be a nuclear bomb? Probably not. But I think there's a good chance that we could see pockets of terrorism kick up in the country.
Or a dirty bomb of some sort. Too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We haven't seen pockets of terrorism. It's just how does it expose itself, or how do we see it? There have been things over the last couple of years that I think would count as terrorism. They're not necessarily on a scale that's
not a 9/11 event,
right? Because I mean, it's a big country. There's lots of people, and sleeper cells, small groups of people don't necessarily have the ability to do the kind of stuff that's national newsworthy. And on some level, I kind of feel like maybe some people have got enough intelligence at this point to decide not to televise every fucking thing that happens. It's hard to imagine that, but I do think that there is still some of that going on where there are things that happen that we don't hear about, because you don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. So that's interesting. So 2 in Chicago and 4 in LA, sleeper cells. I really think there's more than that.
Does it count if you know about them? Doesn't that make them awake cells?
Probably something in every blue state. Or any sanctuary city, they're gonna thrive. So
anyone that's worth the shit, we shouldn't know about, though, right? Like, I mean, I don't know, because I mean, like with the malicious stuff that we have a lot of people that are on our side. That I've always said, like, wait till things really fall apart, and those people have to get involved. That's when it gets scary on our side, as far as like civil unrest and whatnot. But those people, I think, also will be there for us if and when sleeper cells activate. I think that those sort of clandestine, whatever you call them.
I'm worried about July 4th.
I'm glad I'm not playing anywhere.
Well, and the only reason I say that is I've always had the mindset of, if somebody really wanted to fuck up our country, no. when everybody's shooting off fireworks, that's the easiest time to do it.
My
right?
neighborhood sounds like Beirut.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
New Year's Eve and 4th of July. Yeah, you could murder tons of people. Nobody would have a clue.
Yeah.
Like, rockets and fireworks, bitches. Woo! Bombs going on.
No, it's scary. Really scary.
Yeah, it really is.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to our Rumblers. We got some people on Rumble tonight. So thanks for joining us. But what, did that just put some fear in your mind?
No, you didn't put any fear in my mind. You just made me think of other stuff that I'm sitting there like, do I really want to get us on that list? Probably not. No.
Yeah, I'm not really worried.
Well, no, I always have those thoughts. Because I worked airport security right after 9/11 and before TSA took over. And it was funny because watching the things that you screen for and the way that like the test objects that the FAA uses is fucking hilarious. Like a bundle of dynamite with a clock strapped to it.
Right.
It's one of the things they'll send through the X-ray for you to catch. It's a test object. Like this
says Acme on it, or
essentially, yeah. You can't see that on the X-ray, but yeah, I mean, it's essentially that level of fucking stupid. So that being the case, while I'm sitting there working this job, I caught one gun going through in a bag. It was an off-duty police officer, thought he could carry, but obviously not. But the funniest thing is all of the things that will go through there that are components that they don't stop, or that people running the X-rays can't recognize or don't know how to recognize. Like a hairspray aerosol looks a specific way, and butane looks very different.
Right.
If you're not retarded and you're paying attention, which I did pay attention and notice. Some these things. Don't. A lot of them don't know, don't care. Right. It's just fucking mind blowing. So, and then the rules for things: you can't bring 12 ounces of liquid. What should I do with it? We'll throw it in that trash can. This trash can here at the checkpoint. You got it, buddy. Go in there. I'm getting on a fucking plane. Just, and I'm like, I can't be the only person who's thought that, right? Like, when it caused some shit, I have an idea. I got these 9 wine bottles. What should I do with them? Throw them in the trash. Here? Yep. Cool. Bye. Fucking.
It's so true.
It is. Yeah. So it's like, I know that all the security is a farce, but it's just those kinds of things get across my mind. And I'm like, I don't think I'm evil, but if I was, why is this so hard? It's not hard.
Well, what always amazes me too, and to your point, I've gone through checkpoints and I've gotten flagged for stuff like my chargers, my phone chargers. My question is, why don't I get flagged every time?
Yeah,
if everybody's looking for the same stuff,
but
right?
they're not. That's
they're
not.
not.
It's sort of a little bit of it is subjective. The people, well, I don't know what the TSA rules are, but the security company I worked for at the time, you were allowed to make judgment calls, and you were allowed to, like, especially when it came to drugs and stuff. It wasn't their job to screen for drugs. So if you caught somebody with drugs, you could either call the police over and get involved in all that shit, or you could just let them go on their way.
Right.
And you wouldn't believe how many people would try to conceal shit once they're caught. The guy's getting patted down by the 7-foot dude that works at the security checkpoint. He's the nicest guy. And the guy, when he takes his shoes off, clearly grabs something out of his shoe and it's like holding it. And he's like, "What's in your hand?" And he wouldn't show him. And he's like, "Dude, just fucking show me. We get on with this." Anyway, so he had to call the cops over. It was weed, a little bunch of little fucking weed. So like, now you're missing your plane and you're getting arrested. All you had to do is show me. I don't give a shit.
Right.
It's not what we're here for.
You tried to conceal it.
It was hilarious.
That is
sad,
funny.
but hilarious. Yeah.
Did you ever see the video? It's, I think, 2 TSA agents, I think, right? This guy goes through the detector, he gets caught. So they go to pat him down, right? And they go to the front of him, they go, "What's this?" He's like, "That's my penis." He goes, "Yeah." And the guy's like, "That's your penis."
That is your penis.
It was just funny.
That is your penis. All right. Congratulations, sir.
Right? Move along.
It reminds me of This is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Remember that when I was going through the airport.
Did I read that they're coming out with another one, like a part 2?
I did read
Yeah, I
that
thought I
too.
saw that.
So
Are they
something-
all still alive? I mean, minus the drummer.
yeah. The 3 of them are anyway.
That'll be interesting.
Lenny.
Hmm.
I'll never not see him as Lenny. That is him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like, for those of you who don't know, Lenny and Squiggy were characters on
Yeah.
Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and
Also,
Shirley.
those you don't have any fucking clue about.
There's a lot of people that don't know what that show is either.
That's very true.
What's Laverne and Shirley?
Right? Exactly.
What was her name?
That was a
Shirley Marshall. Penny
Penny
Marshall.
Marshall.
There you go.
Daughter to what's his fuck? Who the
Yeah.
hell's-
I don't know.
the guy,
Big Marshall.
That guy.
yeah, the big 90210 guy, right? Am I imagining that one? No,
I don't know.
No, it's not
I
that
don't
guy. Anyway, we're famous people, rich people. Who gives a shit? Moving along. Welcome to my tism.
Well, that was a good 20-minute segue there.
Hey, can you survive a nuclear?
Boom.
Fuck if I know.
Boom, boom, boom. So I ran some statistics through AI, and this is
Plumbing
kind
backed
of
up once.
what came about from it. So
Is that Russian at the top? What is
What's
it?
that?
At the
I don't
top
know.
of that slide.
I know
is-
it mixed my words up for some reason. That's freaking
What
weird.
the shit?
Like when it exported it, it's supposed to say segment 1. That's what it's supposed to say,
Oh, it looks just like that.
right? Yeah. Clearly,
What the fuck? Okay.
isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Okay.
Anyway, so ground zero we know is the point of impact, essentially, right? For a 1 megaton bomb, destruction is complete within 1 mile radius. Now,
but there's-
all the statistics we're talking about tonight are based on one bomb. So if they drop 10, all bets are off, right?
Gotcha.
So it's all based on one bomb. So within that 1 mile radius, you get extreme heat, blast wave, and radiation. Effects by distance, 0 to 1 mile, total annihilation, unsurvivable. 1 to 3 miles, you can get severe burns, collapsed buildings, radiation exposure. 3 to 10 miles, you get broken windows, flying debris, radiation exposure varies at that point. And then beyond 10 miles, survivable with proper shelter, especially from the fallout.
I always thought it was much
So-
worse than that.
I was it too.
I really thought that it was worse than that.
But again, I think that's going to depend on different factors, right? Depend on the wind, right? Is this no wind at all to carry it? You know
Well,
what I
it
mean?
could carry the radiation,
Right,
but
that's
it's
what
not
I'm
going to
saying.
carry the blast.
No, it won't carry the blast.
The blast wave. My understand. I'm like, literally only 3 miles. That's.
Well, that's for the 1 megaton, right? They have
Right.
bigger
yeah.
ones than that now.
Is
I
it?
don't know.
I don't know if there is or not.
I don't know what size.
I mean, I remember you guys saw the Beirut, the fertilizer explosion,
Oh yeah, that thing was ridiculous.
and I don't know what that was rated at.
I don't know.
It was at least a 5.
I remember the Pepcon plant in Nevada.
Yeah, but that was an empty ass space. There was nothing around.
Yeah, but they still had all the rocket fuel and shit.
Right,
there,
but you got to
didn't
see
they?
you got to see
The wave goes across the fucking valley.
right, and you could see that, but it was unobstructed.
Yeah.
So that's what it's like. It's interesting because that was an unobstructed blast wave, so I get that. But like the Beirut thing, it's like there was fuck tons of buildings and people and things and everything there, and so like from a viewable visual distance, there was a time delay between like, whoa, what is that? And so like you could actually physically see it, but that wasn't very much distance. So with all the buildings and stuff, I wonder how far it goes, because it's still subject to physics. So if it's a blast wave, things that get in the way are going to slow it down, incrementally, but at some point it would affect it. So
yeah, I would think it would.
If you're in a highly populated area with lots of tall buildings, you can be probably closer to it and more survivable, as opposed to if you're out in the country.
That's true, because you got nothing to stop it.
Nothing to stop it. Yeah. So 3 or 4 miles, of nothing's in the way.
Yeah, it's just gonna go. Yeah.
Because that's a good point. Because those things blow up above the ground. They don't actually hit the ground.
Yeah.
If I understand how they work. So yeah, that's
well, I don't know. Don't they? They don't impact?
I don't think so.
Because there's always
like
an impact.
100 feet or
because it's you just imagine Dragon Ball Z. Poof, it's gonna melt away that bottom part. So I don't believe that they actually.
So it's a time detonation before it hits.
My understanding is it's the impact won't actually set it off. If you were to drop one of those things and it hit the ground, it's not necessarily going to detonate.
What about the original Fat Man Little Boy?
I think
was
it's
that the same way?
I think they're triggered.
Okay,
and because it's an explosion inside that causes.
Well, yeah.
So it's not. I don't think it's a physical trigger. I think it's a timed electronic trigger that does the little boom that makes the big boom, and it has to be timed right. But I've never made one or had one, so I'm not 100% sure about that. And I think I've lost my owner's manual. The one that I've got in storage.
That will get you kicked off.
It's a toy.
Let Jack show his plans. Yeah, see, that's what's supposed to say at the top. The first one said segment 1. I don't know what it said, but this one's right. The other one got all defunkified or something. I don't know.
Crazy. Surviving the first 48 hours.
Yeah, so kind of a duh statement. Don't look at the flash, right?
Why not?
Plus, I think if the bomb's going to hit, nobody's going to know when the flash is going to come anyway. So
that one looks like a mushroom.
You ever see the one with was it Key and Peele? When he's sitting at a restaurant, he's drinking coffee, and he goes to put like the fake sugar in his coffee, and the nuke blows up. And he's watching it come towards him, and he looks and he shakes his head. He goes, "Fuck it!" He takes the whole thing of sugar like you do and just pours it in his coffee.
That's funny.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, like you do. I'm just kidding.
Was that judgy?
It was real.
Reality.
That's funny.
So get inside, stay inside, stay tuned. Fallout arrives about 15 to 30 minutes. That's interesting.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned to the radio.
Is that going to work?
If there's anything left, right? Could be. Shelter in place. Go to the lowest level, preferably on the ground. Stay away from windows. Use thick materials for shielding. An example: dirt, concrete, books, and water jugs. I guess not.
One guy with an encyclopedia. It said books. It counts. Sorry, I know it's dumb.
My Britannica didn't protect me.
It's like I got A through Z, bitches. We're gonna survive.
But I guess it makes sense. The thicker barrier you make, the less the radiation is going to come through.
Yes.
Or just put on a lead vest.
Because radiation is just waves.
Yeah.
Waves upon waves. It came upon me.
And it messes you up.
Melting.
Stay away from windows. I already said that, didn't I?
No blowfish.
Rule of 710, every 7-fold increase in time reduces the radiation 1/10. So after 7 hours, you're at 10%. After 49 hours, you're at 1%.
What?
So it dissipates quickly.
I didn't know that.
At that point.
Why is Chernobyl still closed? Just kidding.
Yeah, that's a good question.
And then just from a statistical point.
Is that because it was a different type of
could be
radiation? Since it was a reactor?
It was a leak. Yeah, it's probably different.
Well, and you think about the massive amounts of radiation that thing was pumping when it blew up.
Yeah.
Before they shut it down.
Well, that's the thing. It didn't really.
Well, that's like, it was like raw material.
Meltdown.
Yeah, it was raw material. Yeah.
Yeah. So at least a bomb's going to probably burn itself up,
That makes sense. Yeah, the material is
no. So the core blew.
Right.
So the core overheated and blew. So it actually did explode because it
Oh.
blew out the building and everything.
Ah.
Did you ever see the HBO special they did on Chernobyl?
The one where they put the helmet
So
on
good.
it?
The what?
The one where they put the helmet on it? Where they rebuilt the cover?
I don't think they did it in this. In that
It was like, was it 6-part or 3-part? I can't remember.
was
It was really good though.
The one that I saw, they were repairing the big shell that they put over it.
No, this wasn't the same
Okay,
one.
that's the one I saw.
Yeah, no, this was the actual story behind the meltdown and everything.
I don't think I've
it was
seen
very good. It was really well done.
I get it all confused with the Transformers. So. Like that wasn't real, but it was real. Optimus Prime was there.
So this is interesting because it's kind of contradicts itself later on in this paragraph, and that's why I said I think it really depends on the environment, because it says safe distance 15 to 20 miles from detonation, better odds with shelter. Fallout path depends on wind, direction matters more than distance, which I guess makes sense, right? Survival priorities, potable water, no perishable food, 14 days worth. Decontamination, remove outer clothing, shower with soap and water, ventilation and sanitation in shelters. So contamination zones, it said fallout can stretch to 100 plus miles downwind, depending on bomb size and wind.
Very true. What about 28 days later?
You're all zombies at that point.
Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting because it says beyond 15, 20 miles, better odds with shelter. But it says in quotes 100 miles, that's a little scary.
Well, what's weird? It's weird because I honestly, as we're doing this, I'm sitting there thinking, it's always been sort of presented that if there is, the nuclear war or whatever, it's going to be, earthly annihilation. But it's like everybody would have to launch all of their usable nukes at one time,
right?
And spread them out pretty far.
Yeah. You couldn't do one impact point.
We're really a big country. We have a lot of open area that would be. I mean, even if you did that kind of thing, if they're not going to shoot the desert and fucking, what I mean? There's nothing at.
No, they're going to hit cities,
right? So
where population is.
We got property.
Yeah,
that's well out of the range of this shit. So I'm thinking,
you're okay.
Wildly survivable.
Yeah, and
which is not what I thought would be the prognosis.
When you think about, we have a nuclear power plant right here in Arizona too, which I think is 95 miles away from us.
Yeah,
right now.
At least.
So even if they hit that, I think we'd still be relatively safe.
Except for those fucking winds.
Yeah, but would they come this way though?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess they would. Huh?
Yeah, with the Rockies and
yeah.
Oh, the Rockies into your houses.
Bastards. So speaking of targets in the US, what are the most likely targets to get hit? Where do you think they would hit first? Obviously Washington, D.C., New York City, L.A., San Francisco. You could have all those cities.
The Catskills.
Chicago, Houston, NORAD in Colorado, U.S. Strategic Command in Nebraska.
Martha's Vineyard.
Military bases, San Diego, Norfolk, Colorado Springs. Secondary targets would be major airports, ports, power grids, tech hubs like Silicon Valley.
Not universities?
Probably not.
Yeah, no.
Rural America.
That's where they train communists.
That's where they train communists in the universities.
Yeah.
That's true.
So less likely targets, more distance, kind of like you said, Jack. You got property somewhere, you're probably going to be in good shape.
Wolverines.
What a great movie.
I know.
The remake was good too.
I don't know about all that, but we'll go with it.
No, it was good.
Was it really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Like good?
No, I think it was good.
It was different.
It was different because it wasn't the Russians.
Yeah, that's what made it stupid.
It was the Chinese.
They don't have a fucking army.
The Chinese and North Koreans.
Yeah, maybe it was Korean. Was it? I don't know.
No, it was a non. They didn't say who it was. It was just Asian people. And it was only observable like, oh, those are Asians. I've seen those before. I know what those are. They never
said, they like the color red.
They never said what they were.
I thought they did.
I'm almost certain they never said what they were. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they didn't identify as a particular country because they would have not been able to make.
I'm home by myself for the next week. I'm gonna have to watch it again.
I'm coming over here. We're gonna watch some movies.
There you go. Let's do it.
Some movies to watch.
I'm good with that. All right. So, what can you do today? Basic supplies: portable radio, hand crank or battery powered.
Crank.
N95. That kind of makes me laugh because really, the same mask we use for COVID is going to help you in a nuclear attack.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that.
They're on sale.
I'm going to call bullshit on that one.
I don't know.
Plastic sheeting and duct tape. Iodine tablets, that's important because it'll block the thyroid uptake of radiation.
What did you just say? Block the
uptake.
So
it blocks the thyroid from uptaking the radiation. So the thyroid would absorb the radiation. Iodine protects you from that. Your body doesn't absorb the radiation. It's a tablet. It's an iodine pill.
Oh, and you put it in the water.
No, I think you just take it. I think you just take it like a pill, like any other pill.
And it makes your body not taking the iodine. What?
That's what they say.
That's fucking wild.
It is. Don't you remember when we had all the terrorist threats, when people were telling you to duct tape your windows shut and everything, so we were worried about chemical warfare and stuff like that, that people were buying? There was like a run on iodine tablets.
I'm so wow. Nobody wanted me to live, apparently.
It was after 9/11.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it was right after 9/11. So
don't tell the stupid people. They don't need to know.
Let nature decide.
What's going on now? Okay.
First aid, flashlight, water storage, emergency food. Know your local shelters, FEMA shelters, underground garages, or basements. Better than nothing. Prepping without paranoia. Being prepared isn't being crazy. Is being smart.
If you need a 5-layer steel back garage door,
there you go. Hey, that might protect, right?
It would help.
That would help.
It's more shielding.
That would definitely help
than your crappy pan one.
But get yourself a gas mask.
What the fuck?
Or you can buy any of these kits.
You just have that stuff
right from a survival. Yeah, I do. It's not a real. It's a Halloween mask.
Oh,
it's not a real gas mask.
I mean, not that it would be bad, but I'm like, Jesus Christ.
You can buy these kits from any prep stores or anything like that. It's got all kinds of shit in it. I'm not going to pull everything out because it's a bitch to get back in.
Is that a window breaker?
It's got a lot of. Yeah, it is. It is exactly.
Don't let me touch that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to close it up so Jack can't get his hands on it. Keep that out of Jack's reach. But and definitely arm yourself. So yeah, keep it out of Jack's reach. It's like a kid in a candy store.
I like that. It's the Arthur, son of Arthur.
What does it say?
Hey guys.
Oh.
So
there you go.
Of course, the way I read it. Hey guys, this is Arthur, son of Arthur.
There you go.
Okay, sorry.
I'd like to do it this way.
Yeah.
I'm Arthur, son of Arthur.
Fuck yeah. Woo.
Oh, I lost it. Oh dear.
Okay, so wait, part of the radiation
is like dust. They call it alpha particles, and they can only get in through your eyes, wounds, etc. So any exposure to the outside. Huh. Interesting. From Colorado, thank you. Thanks for doing this.
Does this mean? Are we saying that the masks are stupid because?
I don't know about N95 masks that they would protect from any type of radiation.
So that's what I'm saying. He's pointing out that it's just going to cover your mouth. It's not going to help with the eyes and all the
right. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Got it. I just had to, because I'm stupid. Sometimes the cartoons take over.
So I apologize for this being small. I cannot read this, but these are, from what I understand.
Let me take a check at it and see if I can see it.
Fucking derail.
Only if you read it just like that.
Nope, I can't read it.
I'm crying. I gotta get me one of those, Joey. Is it track selectable? So you can just do it on one person's mic, or is it?
Yeah, you can change everybody's voice across the board. So you could assign them to everybody, or you can just assign them to certain mics.
Our juniors, what's this, a bomb tech? Is that what he says? Is it bomb tech? Is he EOD or is he a bomb? Is that different?
And a bomb tech.
Well,
Fort Carson.
That's a lie. I like that.
Then forget my question. But I was just curious if you knew my nephew.
Well, it doesn't help if you forgot where you've They're not going to do anything anyway. And then N95 didn't help you with COVID either. So
but they looked really good.
They looked really good.
I like my favorite one ever was the fucking LED one. Did you ever see those?
I never saw that.
So it had LED lights on it, and it was a mouth, and it would move when you talked.
Oh, yeah, I did see one of those.
Fucking nobody
Yeah.
could put it on without laughing their ass off. So the mouth's just going ape shit while they're dying laughing. It was so fucking so such simple creatures.
So I think this is the map of the current U.S. weapons sites where we house, I'm assuming where we house nuclear weapons. And the chart on the right was supposed to be about where we were back several years ago with our nuclear arsenal and where we are now. And the numbers dropped significantly.
What happened to them?
We probably either dismantle them or
Selling
them to
selling them at yard sales, selling them
on eBay. I'll probably ship them off to Yucca Mountain in Nevada,
right?
Where all the nuclear waste goes.
Or Superman's flying them up into a black hole.
Because that was smart.
Yeah.
Running nuclear waste through Las Vegas to a mountain.
Hey guys, I got a
on a train that goes right through town.
Great idea.
Yeah.
There's this mountain. See, we got stuff. Nothing's going on there. We should totally use it to get rid of all that nuclear bad stuff, right? And it was like, that sounds like a great idea. How are we gonna get it there? We'll put it on a train.
Put it on a train.
Put it on a fucking train.
Let's drag it through town.
Train goes right there, dude.
That won't hurt nothing.
Yeah. Ask Chat.
All right, so I asked ChatGPT, what are the odds of a nuclear strike on America? So it's always interesting to see what stuff comes in. So intentional full-scale nuclear war, very low probability. This would trigger mutually assured destruction, MAD, specifically between major powers like the U.S., Russia, and China. That's kind of what I said earlier, right? Once one person uses them, we're all going to send
and all those
them
poor fuckers that are living in yurts and shit that are just herding their sheep and just like, oh, mother. They just see mushroom clouds coming out. They're going like, son of a bitch. Sorry.
Limited tactical nuclear strike, small scale, used by a rogue nation during regional war.
Just say Ukraine.
Low, but higher than full scale war. So it's still low, but it's still a higher percentage. Terrorist nuclear attack, extremely low due to difficulties in obtaining, transporting, and deploying nuclear weapons. Not if you come into the United States, because we welcome you in.
I just watched True Lies again, so
that's a great movie.
That was a great movie.
That was the whole plot of that movie.
Yep. Yeah.
Bringing in
through art,
the artifacts, which
statues.
It's a lot of that.
It could happen.
A lot of that has happened.
Yeah.
Anyway,
accidental launch or miscalculations, slight but possible due to system errors, false alarms, or miscommunicating during military tensions.
Isn't that what Iran did at the end there? Like, oh, I pressed the button. I'm sorry. I thought you said push it. No. Look, it's a ceasefire.
Want to play a game?
Yeah. Oh, such a good one, too.
That was a good movie.
Would you like to play a game?
So, geographical tensions, risk factors, U.S.-Russia relations still strained due to Ukraine, NATO, what does it say, expansion? And cyber tensions, right?
Cyber tensions. Yeah. Hit us with the silent Joy.
You're right, exactly.
Is that it? No. I'm sorry. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's exciting.
Cyber tension.
Bitchin'.
U.S.-China relations, rising concern over Taiwan, South China Sea, and military posturing. North Korea, of course, always a threat, continues to test missiles. It could be unpredictable. But direct strike on the U.S. would, what does it say? Mean regime suicide. Sorry. It's so small I can't freaking read it.
That's okay.
Iran, not nuclear armed yet, but potential flashpoints with Israel or regional allies could escalate.
If I ever feel bad about the Korea thing, I always just watch that Team America. And that just makes me feel good again.
Makes you feel good again.
He's so stupid.
I hate when this comes up so small. It looks so big when I'm doing it on the computer, but when you put it on here, it's like, fuck, I can't read it. What experts and models say.
3-year-old.
Bulletin of Atomic Scientist. The doomsday clock currently sits at 90 seconds to midnight as of 2024. What the fuck does that mean?
Oh, yeah. What does that mean?
The closest ever, representing heightened global existential risk. Expert estimates odds of any nuclear weapon used in the next 10 years, 5 to 10%. Odds of a nuclear strike on the U.S. soil, less than 1% per year, but variable depending on international crisis.
Is there actually a doomsday clock?
There is a doomsday clock, but I have no idea what it means or how to read it.
I want to know what it looks like. I want it was like one of those Felix the Cat clocks.
Does anybody know?
The TikTok and
Young
tail,
Arthur, do you know what the doomsday clock is?
tail going back and forth, eyes going back and forth, looking all creepy and shit.
That's a freaky clock.
It is a freaky clock.
Yeah.
It'd be a great doomsday clock. Should make it Heathcliff or something.
Should be Dr. Evil.
There you go.
Right.
or the Claw.
There you go.
His cat. The Claw's
Yeah.
cat. Dr. Claw? Was it Dr. Claw,
Yeah.
Professor?
I think it was Dr. Claw, wasn't it?
I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
I'll get you, gadget. This little bitch niece. Anyway, moving along. Young Arthur can't read.
U.S. defense and deterrence. The U.S. has a robust nuclear triad: land, air, sea-based nukes, early warning systems, and missile defenses. Deference theory still holds true. Any nation striking the U.S. risks annihilation. Homeland Security and international intelligence consistently monitor for smuggling of nuclear materials or threats from non-state actors, which again is why I go back to the sleeper cells here in the U.S. We let our border just be wide open for 4 years. Who knows what was brought into the country?
And how are you supposed to tell? I mean, if they're state actors or non-state actors,
The professionals know.
I guess. They said they got SAG cards.
People like Arthur know. Both Arthur Senior and Junior
Oh,
know.
King of the Britons. Sorry.
You can say.
Risk of a nuclear strike.
So risk of a nuclear strike. I think we're in the very low category.
That looks like a board game I have.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's called Risk.
Risk. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Risk.
What?
Yeah, that was
How
a good.
could you forget
No,
about
that was a
Risk?
good game. I remember that.
It's a
game.
great game. Who has 3 days they want to waste? Let's play Risk with
Let's play
4
Risk.
people. Fuck! It's
Right.
going to take forever.
So, as of 2025, the odds of a large-scale terrorist attack. So, I kind of did the same thing. I asked, "What are the odds of a terrorist attack in the U.S.?" They're low, but authorities remain vigilant, especially for lone wolf or cyber-related attacks. Here's a breakdown of the current assessment.
Still at a doomsday clock.
So, this is Homeland Security's advisory system.
Now, you know what's weird? Those colors almost represent the level.
The DEF CON?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we have a system here. I know. I can't remember which one it was. It was the colors were fucking completely arbitrary. Anyway, keep going.
The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, DHS, continues to issue National Terrorism Advisory System bulletins through the no inherent, is that what it said? Or imminent threat alerts are active as of now. The FBI and CIA assesses the likelihood of a large coordinated 9/11 style attack as very low due to tightened airport security, intel sharing, and surveillance. Smaller scale attacks, mass shootings inspired by ideology, lone wolf actors, and cyber terrorism remain a moderate concern.
Why do they call them actors? I hate that.
I don't know.
I don't know why I hate that colloquialism. It's terrible.
Oh, there's my brother. I was waiting for him to comment. Dirty bomb is definitely the biggest threat. Bioterrorism is just as much. Yeah, bioterrorism, that scares the shit out of me.
I still
Mhm.
Jack in the Box, so it should bother me more, but it doesn't. Fucking tacos are delicious.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think that's what they mean by lone wolf, right?
Mhm.
The Timothy McVeigh's.
And he was just a disturbed young man
Yeah.
with a Home Depot card and a rental agreement from Ryder. It takes so little to do
yes.
so much. All you have to have is enough insanity or purpose to go, you know what? I don't give a shit.
That's true. You
You
have
think-
that ideology, right?
Right. And if if the government's nice enough to supply you with a gun and all that cool stuff, why would you bother with the fertilizer? It's a lot more effort. What was that kid's name again? Anyway,
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
the guy laying on the roof.
Oh, the one that Trump.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that is. I didn't pay much attention to what his name was.
He's got an $8,000 rifle. That makes total fucking sense.
Yeah.
He was in a gun club for 15 fucking minutes on the chess team, and the nerds are us. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Nope. Domestic terrorism. What?
Yeah. So foreign terrorist groups, ISIS, Al Qaeda, focused on more regional targets abroad. U.S. strikes have disrupted command structures. Domestic violent extremists. We have a moderate risk level, homegrown threats tied to ideology, race, religion, and anti-government sentiments.
Which is ironic.
Cyber terrorism, that's always a scary thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Moderate to high right now. Critical infrastructure, grids, hospitals, finance, vulnerable to foreign actors. Again, Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. And bioterrorism, it says it's extremely low, but I don't know about that. Highly difficult to execute, tight control over materials worldwide. Yeah, but the stuff's already in the country.
Well, where were those people that brought the fungus in here recently?
So the doomsday clock is a metaphorical metric for the likelihood of human-made disasters set by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists based on science and technological advances.
That should have cleared it up. But now I just have an aneurysm.
So
go with the stroke I had earlier.
It's not a physical. It's not a Garfield.
No, I know. I get that.
It's not a claw.
Let me clear things up for you, dummy. Huh? Sorry.
You want to play with the glass breaker?
You got something.
Give Jack something shiny and
I can
orange.
fiddle with. Rob's gonna melt my brain. I don't need to meet him in person again because he's gonna fucking kill me. Jesus, holy shit! Thank you, Rob.
Oh man, what the hell does this even say? I can't even read this.
I don't know.
Can you read this? Can anybody read this?
I can read it.
Arthur Jr.
Go,
and
Joey.
Rob are gonna be friends.
Yes.
Expert estimates say Rand Corporation and CSIS assessments suggest odds of a mass casualty terror attack on U.S. soil in any given year is 1 to 5%.
It's pretty low.
Odds of a cyber attack or critical infrastructure 10 to 25% in the next 5 years.
Oh, they give you a time frame too. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then risk is localized with high-profile urban centers, so like New York City, D.C., L.A., Chicago, considered more likely targets. So.
Yeah, that's kind of what the map showed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So just so we're clear, that's not Rob's personal definition. He copied that from somewhere, right?
I don't know.
Rob,
did you copy and paste that?
Is that the actual definition, or did you just know that?
That's my gun.
What the fuck?
That's a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield.
Oh, it's not like a photo of your gun?
No.
Okay, I was going like, what kind of sick kind of photography sessions are you doing? Look at my pretty gun with the bullets everywhere. Sorry. All right.
Joe, you're doing such a good job.
Oh, you want me to continue? Counterterrorism. See, I'm doing great.
I got it that time. Got it.
Counterterrorism measures. Fusion centers across all 50 states monitor local national intel. So the NSA, DHS, FBI work jointly on surveillance, data and analytics, and disruption of threats. Does it say disruption? It does.
Yeah, it's disruption.
Okay. Increased public-private sector collaboration on cybersecurity. Border security and immigration vetting remaining tightened post-Afghanistan and Ukraine conflicts.
Okay, that last statement was not accurate a year and a half ago.
Is that when this information came out?
I don't know when this came.
But it wasn't accurate.
This is recent.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
The point is the Ukrainians were running wild and rampant.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. I feel like he's scolding me. It's a known definition, you fucking retard. I know you don't mean it that way, dude, but it's just I enjoy being stupid sometimes. All right.
There we are again.
Here's our cool picture we took. Remember that one, guys?
Yeah.
Almost stormtrooper.
So attack type, large foreign organized attack, likelihood very low, impact potential high. Lone wolf or DVE attack, moderate, medium to high. Cyber terrorism, moderate to high, likelihood, right? Impact would be a high impact, of course. Bioterrorism, nuclear, non-state, extremely low. Impact would be catastrophic.
Well, fucking great. So cyber terrorism is interesting that it's a high impact potential, but moderately high likelihood, which is funny because it's really only high because we're so reliant on stupid shit,
right?
That we shouldn't be reliant on. Like, it's crazy that you can be broke because of computer malfunction, but really, are you? No, but you're not really rich either.
But think about it. We always talk about EMPs, right? What would that'd be devastating?
It would be
in so many levels
because we're very reliant on those things. Yep. But also the level of EMT. So, like, if it just shut down Facebook, we'd be fine.
Yeah, but it's not going to. No, but I mean, you take out the grid, it's over. We talked about that many times, right? Yeah. I mean,
people who aren't prepared are screwed.
So I don't know how true it is because if you watch Broken Arrow, when the bomb blew up underground, it caused one. So does it always happen when
I think they said, I think
a nuclear bomb goes off
on a nuclear bomb was an EMP effect. Or you just set off an EMP period,
prior to, and then you're got a
big
it's
Farmville.
It's Farmville.
That's what it looks like.
All right, so preparedness. Stay informed. Sign up for local alerts via FEMA, ready.gov, or your city's emergency management office.
I count on those fuckers for nothing.
Monitor DHS, National Terrorism Advisory System, which we just kind of talked about for alerts. Emergency plan, know your evacuation routes, local shelters, and meeting points for your family. Create a communication plan in case cell towers go down, radios. Out of area contact person, where to meet if separated. Ensure kids know what to do if they're at school or away from home. That's frightening. If you really think about it, if something went down during our daily lives.
Oh, I know.
How screwed would people really be?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the thing, those of us, like, we still haven't given you directions, but would you know how to get there?
To your property?
Yeah.
Not
a clue.
I'd be able to get to your area.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to get to your property.
So that's what I mean. When you consider communications breaking down or being gone, if you can't communicate with people, if you don't already have it set up, if you don't already have them with the ability to navigate to where it is without their fucking maps, without their phone, like, legit, how are you going to get from A to B? And what if a road's out? What if multiple roads are out? We have two places that will be fine as long as we can get there.
Yeah.
But if people can't get there, then you have no way to communicate with them. You don't no way to know if they know where to go or how to get there. It's like that's kind of shit's bothersome. Like, the food and the water thing, I'm not worried about because we have all that taken care of. But as I've told you before, you're coming. We need to give you the campsite location because we need the guns. But
yeah, I mean,
I'm happy to hear that
nobody's prepared.
That it's not really. I mean, society falls apart pretty quick.
Yeah.
Without power and infrastructure and stuff like that. So I like that the nuclear fallout part isn't forever, because I always pictured it like a Chernobyl thing, like it's just burned for centuries, where it doesn't sound like that.
Well, again, it's based off the number of bombs too.
Well, I mean, exactly. And I don't think there's a scenario where it's full dump. And if it is, then it's not survivable anyway. And who the fuck wants to survive?
That's the big question. Would you want to survive it? You could, but would you want to? Yeah,
I don't think I would.
I've not seen Armed and Dangerous.
You never saw that? They're working in the chemical pits and their teeth are falling out and shit.
Good Lord. No, I've not seen that one. It's my backpack.
So it's always good to have a bug out bag. We've got a few of them. Keep a go bag ready. Water, 1 gallon per person per day. Non-perishable food, 3 days. Flashlight, batteries, first aid kit. Medications, very important. Most people don't realize that. N95 for smoke, dust, or biological agents, which I can see more so than the whole radiation factor there.
Yeah.
Radio hand crank or battery powered. Important documentation, copies, phone charger, power bank. Who cares if the power's out?
Yeah.
Cash, small bills.
And I say liquor.
Yes.
Bottles of liquor and mini bottles you can use as change.
Well, and honestly, if you have a good supply of crack on hand, you're going to have all the people you need to do all the hard work.
All the hard work for you. Dora the Explorer prepared me for this.
Backpack. Swipe or no swiping, which is going to be a lot of swiping.
Yep.
Let's discuss the compass for just a moment.
Yeah.
The uselessness of a compass. I'm just kidding. Moving along.
Moving along. Nothing to see here.
No, seriously, the booze is like a good deal for the same reason with the crack.
Barter and trade.
There's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna fucking want it and need it.
Yep.
Not to mention it's a good thing to have if you have to cut a limb off.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Or take a bullet out.
Well, whatever.
Of course, the dogs start
Fighting
in the middle of the studio. That's awesome.
What are you guys doing?
Like, hey, you got 5 minutes left this show. Preparation by attack type. Bombing explosive avoids large crowds or high profile targets during times of global tension. So basically stay in your house. Know where exits are in public spaces. I always make note of that when I'm out somewhere.
Do what? Know where the
To know where the exits are. And I usually try to sit
facing the door.
Yeah.
Because that's because you're creepy.
I know.
Me too.
If an explosion occurs, get low, avoid windows,
Get low.
evacuate calmly. If trapped, shout, tap for help, conserve battery.
God, that's terrifying.
Right? It truly is. So,
Zombie survival. Is that a chainsaw or a baseball bat with nails in it?
just how antibiotics rotate every 3 years. That's another good point.
Yes.
Antibiotics, very important.
Oh, yes.
Are you guys done fighting? Are they done?
She was trying to keep the other one out.
Oh,
She's
is that what it
"They're
was?
almost done. Shut up. She's like, I want to make noise.
Active shooter, learn to run, hide, and fight. Run if you can escape safely. Hide if escape is impossible. Lock doors, silence phones. Fight only as a last resort. Take part in workplace or active shooter drills.
Especially if you're an active shooter.
If you're an active shooter.
I don't remember what comedian is like, where are we going to meet again? This guy in the back.
Oh, man. That's funny.
Just a review. Where are we supposed to meet? Anyway, sorry.
Chemical or biological, stay indoors. Seal the space, duct tape, plastic sheets, N95 mask, or wet cloths over nose and mouth. Wait for official instructions before evacuating. Tune in to local radio, AM, FM for updates. It's good advice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you know what's interesting about AM radio? Do you?
I was waiting.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the only one, as far as I understand it, you can get multiple inputs at once.
What do you mean?
So if you have AM radio, I can hear if there's multiple people talking at one time, I can hear them all.
Oh, okay.
So it can actually get multiple signals, whereas FM is one way,
right,
one at a time. I'm talking, then if someone else is talking at the same time, they're not going to be heard, depending on proximity, all that shit. But AM radio is different. AM radio, you can hear everybody that's talking on the frequency that you're on.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
That's good.
That's why air traffic controllers use it. We can't.
Stockpile face creams.
Where would we get those from?
Cyber attack on infrastructure. Keep backup power, solar charger, power bank. Have cash on hand. ATMs and cards may not work. They won't work on a cyber attack. Print hard copies of important documents.
Will alarm systems.
That's true. They will not. IDs, medical info. That's a good point. Yeah, alarm systems will fail to work. Well, they'll work locally, right? They'll still go off in your house, but nobody's going to know.
Maybe.
Except for you.
I was thinking more of the bank fault or the
Oh,
ATM
yeah.
My card doesn't work. Guess what? I have a tractor. We have an ATM.
We have an ATM.
Fuck yeah, we got cash.
Know how to manually open garage doors, locks, etc.
That's sad that
They said they got to put that in.
What do I do now?
Yeah, I don't think cash would hold its value very long if it's a drawn out, you know.
Well, there will
No.
still be.
So-
I can assure you, there's still going to be stupid people left when it happens. So those are the people you give the cash to for their things that matter, like their water and their food. Here's all my money. Give me all your food and water.
Give me all your food and
Okay.
water.
We're rich now. Let's go buy a Rolls Royce. Yeah, go buy a Rolls Royce. you dumb fuck. Anyway,
That's a good point. Knowing how to use a tourniquet. I think that's great. Great advice. I think that's my next slide. I think you are getting ahead. No, it's not. So situational awareness. Joey, you're up. I can't read this. If you can. I'm going to get some more whiskey.
All right. Practice situational awareness. Look for exits. Note anything suspicious. Report suspicious behavior to authorities. So see something, say something. Get CPR, first aid training.
There you go.
That's always a good thing to do. Say you might be the help someone needs. Build connections. Neighbors, local groups, faith organizations. They're your real-time support system.
True. Very
So
true.
levels of situation awareness. So the white level says, what does it say?
Looks like it says, does this say
Tuned out,
relaxed?
relax, and
Unaware.
completely unaware. Oh, so this is your awareness level.
Yeah.
right.
So if you're a white person like me, no,
Very good.
I don't think I'm at this point though. So completely unaware of the surroundings, generally unprepared. But I do know people like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And there's way too many of them.
Well, we're gonna have-
Yellow is relaxed awareness, aware of surroundings, and actively scanning for threats, can quickly respond if needed. Orange means you're focused awareness, monitoring a potential threat with a high level of observance in a heightened state of alertness. And then red is high alert activity, responding to a threat and taking action.
Yeah, I'm not a racist necessarily, but I know what white, yellow, and red are. What's orange?
I don't know.
Oh wait, no, I do know. Never mind. Continue. You're welcome. That's immediately where my head went. When you said you're a white person, I'm like, oh, yellow, orange, red. That's hilarious. Okay.
All right, skills that can save lives: first aid, CPR, ham radio basics, map reading, navigation. When did that not become a skill?
20 years ago,
I guess I can still read a map.
I can still read one, but I don't.
Basic self-defense, fire
Get away from
extinguisher
me.
use, point and shoot, buddy.
That's also
pretty
also
simple.
falls under basic self-defense.
Basic self-defense.
You got a fire extinguisher now, will knock the
You're
shit
not
out of you.
exactly.
Unless you want
Exactly.
a mouthful of this foam.
So that's a lot of information.
So yeah, so if you have basic self-defense skills and tourniquet skills, both of those are very helpful. You're doing it wrong. Get that off my neck. It's a tourniquet, motherfucker. You look like you're bleeding.
So I guess the question: could you survive a nuclear attack? And the answer is yes.
The answer is definitely, is surprisingly, a lot more surprisingly yes than I thought. I honestly like the view I had of nuclear stuff was a little bit different than that. But there is the do you want to thing, because one thing is none of this accounts for is the very human factor of, if you are someone who is prepared, how many other people do you know that are prepared?
Right.
And how many of people do you immediately lose? It's, that's a very real point, just to bring the show to a whole fucking stop and bring into the depression that I experience on a monthly basis. Everybody you love's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to stick around.
Yeah.
So that's just rough shit, but I do.
Wasn't that just based on one?
I don't
starting?
know.
I mean, if it was multiple ICBMs coming in,
Well, if it's just one, I don't know how big your family is. My family's not really big, and we're all pretty close to each other.
Yeah, we're spread out all over the place.
If I'm out of town, everybody I am related to, not extended family, obviously, because Amanda's family covers the globe. So. But mine's pretty localized. So it's pretty interesting. But I don't know. It's all terrifying. I need the antibiotics hookup as well.
I think education is key, right? I mean, if you do have a large family, have those conversations with the family. I mean, I remember when Lindsay and I first met, she always gave me shit about how far out I lived, right? And I've always had a reason for that. If it goes to shit, I still want to be able to get out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck in the city where everything's gridlocked and you can't get out. Unfortunately, now it's built up so much out here that I don't know if that's going to be the case, but that was my original thought process, right?
Yeah.
I have a cousin for every occasion. Train and practice.
Is that the right way to spell train? Is there another way to spell train?
No, that's right. That's right. That's the right train.
There's only one train, right?
Well, there's TRANE, but I think that's a name.
Yeah, I don't. My brain's just not working right now, guys. Like I saw that, I went train.
It's all rad running around the surplus tactical vest until you get smoked by the local crackhead.
Are we going to meet him?
I'll tell you what. I hope so.
I want to meet him.
Arthur, you need to bring him out. You need to bring him out when you are filming.
Fucking awesome.
So, have you ever wore a vest?
No.
They're fucking heavy.
Oh, I imagine so.
I always said to myself, I'm going to throw mine on and go run on a treadmill and see what happens. Because think about it. If you're in that situation and you got to book it, are you in enough shape to be able to throw that thing on?
And run. I have experienced running with the weighted ankle things.
Yeah.
Then that was back when I had any desire to run and not being chased. But yeah, I mean the reality of picking up a load of shit and legitimately moving fast and intentionally is a pretty low percentage shot for me. Like I'm not in the kind of shape where I can react quickly. Like generally speaking, if there's an actor like on the ground, shit going down, I'm fucking dead. Like boom, it's almost instantaneously. If I have to run for my life, my life's gone. I don't run for shit because I can't run.
I should have you throw on the vest.
Oh, it won't make any difference. I'm fucking heavy enough that I can't move my own ass quickly. But you add weight to it.
It's heavy too.
There's some cargo fire that make it better.
Yeah,
it just fall over.
I mean, I think I'm pretty strong, but in the thick of it, to be quick about it, get it on and strap it on. I mean, it's not easy. And then to try to run for your life with it, you're gonna be winded in about 2 minutes.
That's a good question. Can you?
That's a great question.
And
I think, and hopefully Rob's still on to answer that, but I think they're very similar in makeup, right?
I don't have a clue.
Probably strength is a little bit different.
These are the things I rely on my wife for because she knows this shit. I don't.
Camouflage would work if you can't run fast.
Yeah, I agree.
Here you go. Yes, you can. They're better than not having any, but your doctor should give you a script. Just tell them you're traveling.
Along with my Xanax.
Yep.
That's funny. That's cool. That's good to know. I didn't realize that.
So a lot of good information, I think, tonight. They're the same antibiotics.
Very cool.
What I thought.
Is there an open market to purchase antibiotics, or you have to have a script for them? Do you not?
Unless you go to Mexico.
What?
Unless you go to Mexico and
Oh, you said Mexico. I heard Medsco, and I'm like, is that like
Medco? Yeah.
We got to get on the Silk Road or Silk Highway, whatever the hell it is.
We used to load up on amoxicillin.
Yeah,
down there all the time.
Ivermectin.
But they're only good for a few years, right? Robert, was it 3 years?
He said to rotate. I think every 6 months. I thought.
Oh God, hope not. I thought he said every 3 years.
Was it? I got to go back and find.
It's got to be 3 years because 6 months is ridiculous.
3 years. Sorry. I don't know why.
I remember and you didn't.
I didn't remember.
See how alcohol's bad.
I know.
Where the meds go.
Oh shit. Arthur Jr., you need to jump on the show more often.
I fucking love this kid.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
That's not fair that you can be smart and capable and also funny.
It'd be witty, right?
That's fucking great. Shit. All right, moving along.
That was a lot of fun. A lot of information.
Yeah, we could we'd probably be distracting.
Probably be dangerous.
It'd be fun.
Be fun to get you on the show together.
And then we could run.
Right. Somehow I think he'd kick your ass, but you know.
It's not always a competition, Keith. It's just not always a competition. Okay.
Except for if you're fighting for survival. then it kind of is a competition at that point.
That's true.
So
I don't think I would fight with somebody younger than me. Maybe. Who knows?
Hey, you never know.
Hope it wouldn't come to that.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for our show tonight.
But first, Joey has to do one more voice.
Oh, yes, he does. Go for it.
What do you want to hear?
Any of them. I love the Cylon. It's my favorite. It gets me excited.
Was it that one?
Yeah, it's that one.
Yes.
God,
I have other ones like that. This one's more Cylon, isn't it?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I need things.
What else?
That's another low one. With lots of reverb.
Does have a lot of reverb.
Satan in the shitter.
No reverb on this one. Ooh, that feels good.
That's like Jabba the Hutt.
Oh.
Reverb's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I still like this guy.
Yeah, that one's funny too.
He's fun.
Oh.
Interesting. Good times. Good times.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's show. If you're joining us for the first time, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and go check out Project Why Now at projectwhynow.com.
Yeah.
Get some of their product. We got some here in the studio. So if you guys are interested, let us know. And go check out the Ycast. If you subscribe, I think there's still room for subscribers in there that if you subscribe, take a picture of your subscription, send it to them on LinkedIn, and you'll get some free stuff. So go check it out. Go like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week.
Indeed.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Have a great rest of the weekend. See ya. That it doesn't bring